What's up, Sushi Squad? We backing up some more Trove to Trove, and today we've got a video that is long overdue. The topics we're going to be talking about today is my username change, why I changed it, what is the deal with sushi and all that stuff. Another thing is I want to give you guys a big tip that I should have given a long time ago of why you may still see me in game with the wrong username, and then we'll also dabble upon why I ended up making the decision to take the channel away from being family friendly. So big topics today. I've been meaning to talk about these for a while. I've just been super duper busy with real life stuff. Basically, like, I haven't really talked about it because I don't know how appropriate it is to talk about it, but my brother and his girlfriend, I think like a couple weeks ago, if not a month by now, they got engaged, and we've been kind of like, there's been lots of stuff being set up. Later today we're kind of going to, I wouldn't call it like it's not like a full-on wedding party, but it's kind of an engagement party where we're gonna just go and chill with them and stuff like that. Either way, congratulations to them. I thank you guys in advance for your supportive comments, because I know you're gonna give them. And I mean, it's really cool. You know, my little brother ended up getting engaged, and it's just really awesome. So what can I say? But that is not an excuse for why I've been super duper busy or anything. It's just something that's obviously taken a lot of my time, and just most of all my mental, like, I've been thinking about it a lot and how cool it is and stuff. Not to mention just life itself, you know, trying to make decisions of what would be good for my future and blah blah, which is completely unrelated, but I'm just saying that, you know, life stuff has been going on right now, on top of the fact that I'm very satisfied with where the channel is, and I think that's why I've been spending a lot more time focusing on my personal life and just trying to figure out, you know, what's the best course of action for my future and stuff like that, on top of trying to get certain things complete and finished. You know, like, we've got lots of stuff to do with the dogs and trying to set up appointments and stuff like that during all this quarantine garbage. Even though we're not as affected as most of you guys are over here in Canada, it still is definitely making things very tedious, that's for sure, you know. And on top of all of that, then trying to get, like, I want to get my tattoo finished on my back, and then I gotta start saving money and blah, real life stuff. You guys, whatever. I'll have another video that might talk about that in more detail. I've been meaning to have kind of a heart-to-heart, you know, connect with you guys. Here's what's going on in my life type of thing. But I digress. So my username. First of all, let's talk about why I ended up changing it. So the biggest reason was because a lot of you might not know this, but my real life name is actually Scythe. Okay, that's real. That is legit. And so for me, I know it might be difficult to understand, but think about, let's just say, for example, your name is Bob in real life, right? And let's say that your YouTube channel of many years, or whatever, you know, maybe your own home business, whatever, is Bob Plays, Bob Builds, whatever, right? So to me, Scythe Plays was a little bit cringe, because it's literally just using my name and then just plays at the end of it, right? Whoopsie daisy, I want Neon Ninja. I'm trying to concentrate on doing some Trove stuff in the background while you know, so that we can be efficient and talk about all this stuff at the same time. But it's a little bit distracting, to say the least. But that is basically one of the big reasons that was the decision. The other reason is just because, generally speaking, I don't like... It's like, even though the majority of my content obviously is Let's Play stuff, just because gaming is something that I'm very passionate about, it doesn't mean that I do 100% gaming videos. Like, vlog videos and stuff like that, I love doing those videos for you guys, and based on the reception that I've gotten from you guys, you find them to be pretty entertaining and just kind of cool, like a day in the life of Scythe type of thing. But the only problem with those videos is, my god, they take a long time to edit. And that's the thing, is YouTube can end up being a grind sometimes. You know, that's kind of the same as any other job, honestly speaking. I know, like, how difficult can it be to play video games every single day? But that's the thing, is it's like, you kind of gotta be on top of what video games you're playing, the content that you're talking about and stuff like that. Like, it's like, you know, even stuff like this, where this is more interesting topics, but about me personally, generally isn't going to get as many people interested as, say, a new update for Trove, where I'm covering all of the new stuff and talking about all the things that the general populace wants to hear about, rather than right now, you guys watching this are the more hardcore fans. You actually care about me, my life, what's going on beyond just this video game, you know? That said, obviously, you know, Trove is the most popular on the channel, despite the fact that I still just enjoy video games in general, and I'm still gonna play video games in general, just because it is something that I am wholeheartedly passionate about. Like so many of you, while I was growing up, you know, things can end up being very difficult, and throughout any difficult time in my life, what did I always turn to? Video games. I mean, you know, playing video games with my friends and stuff like that, and that's how I would end up meeting people, was just playing games online, and very rarely would end up, like, I've met some people that I'd known online for years, and then I meet them in real life, and it's such a fun contrast, you know? It doesn't happen very often, but still, where are these pinatas? Like, my God. But I'm just trying to say that video games is something that has always been a part of my life, and even when I first started doing YouTube, the reason I wanted to do YouTube was I wanted an excuse to play some of my childhood games. So quite literally, the reason I got into YouTube was because I wanted to do a series on Turok 2. I wanted an excuse to replay this game and an excuse to document it, because in a lot of ways, that's kind of what YouTube really is. You know what I mean? And anyways, I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I don't want to be talking about that stuff for too long. I'm just trying to say that, you know, we all connect on the fact that we love video games, right? And anyways, despite that, I still, you know, Scythe Plays just felt a little cringe, because I'm not always doing game videos, and who knows what's going to happen in the future of the channel. We might end up moving towards, I don't know, reaction videos are a lot of fun. Not to say that I'm ever going to stop playing video games, and more so specifically, I'm not going to quit Trove, you guys. Like, seriously, stop saying that. You guys watch me play like one other game, and then you come around, are you quitting Trove? It's like, I literally put out a Trove video 2 minutes ago, you know? It's ridiculous. But anyways, I really don't mean to go off topic. I'm sorry, guys. Oops, let's go this way. So Scyushi was kind of the best of both worlds. I personally saw it as, you know, the top YouTubers, they all end up kind of having puns on their usernames, except for PewDiePie. That's just some random weird thing. I don't know where it came from. I don't care. But the point is, like, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, right? And then for me, Scythe, Scyushi, right? Because in real life, pretty much anybody I know calls me Scy, that knows me personally. And then the Ushi in my name is just because I love sushi. It's as simple as that. But the funny thing is that while I thought about changing my username for a very, very long time, coming up with the idea of Scyushi, I ended up having in just like a matter of like an hour or two of just thinking about like a username. And then I was like, wait a minute, Scyushi. Yeah, that sounds kind of cute. I like it. And it's something that I can, I don't know, it just kind of sells itself type of thing. I don't know how else to put it. Okay. I'm sorry. But because that's the thing, is YouTube in general, you're basically building up not only just your own content and stuff like that, but you're also building up a brand, as it were. And Scyushi is something that I can brand a lot more than just putting my personal name on it. You know, like, it just seemed like, it's like, you see those companies or things that show up, and it's like the Logan Pauls and, you know, all that crap, where it's like they just use their full-on name, and to me it feels very arrogant and egocentric. Not to say that it is, I'm just saying that's what it feels like to me. So that was the big reason why I ended up making the decision to end up changing my username, despite the fact that now I cannot get my channel verified for the life of me, because YouTube doesn't actually know what my channel is anymore, just because I got verified as Scythe Plays, because that was years and years and years of establishment, and now Scyushi, it's kind of like building it from the ground up. But with that new identity came the fact that I wanted to be more myself and make a huge detrimental decision with the channel to take it out of being family friendly. Now, before we talk about that, I do want to let you guys know that if you like, I'm talking about like my channel and everything, but I'm also talking about my in-game username as well. And one thing that I've noticed over time with Trove that is kind of stupid is I don't know if it's because my account is just so old, or if that's just how Trove works. But I actually changed my main account username to actually be Scyushi, but the majority of you are still seeing my username as Scythe Plays. Now, here's the thing. On my alternate account, you guys might see it sometimes. You know, I have an alt series that I don't do too often, but when I do, it's basically a free-to-play account where I started at the beginning from scratch, right? And in that series, that username, I actually took Scythe Plays on that account so that nobody else could end up stealing it and then trolling and stuff like that. It's just stupid things that you gotta worry about, right? But you have to. It's what it is when you're a content creator, especially on a game like this. And now my main account, the one that you're seeing right here, my username is Scyushi, but so many of you are still seeing me as the old username. You want to know how you end up resolving that? Well, it's kind of dumb. You basically have to unadd me and then re-add me back. Now, there is offline friending, so if you do unadd Scythe Plays and then re-add Scyushi, I can just accept all friends at one point or another while I'm just playing the game. But it's weird because it's like, here's the thing. Technically speaking, you will still be talking to and interacting with my main account right here. I don't think that you guys can join me properly because you'll be technically joining Scyushi, or Scythe Plays, I mean. I don't mean to get confused with the names and stuff like that. But the weird thing is that my alternate account that now has the name Scythe Plays, actually gets whispers and sees, like, so many of you will see me appear online on my alt account, despite the fact that I don't actually add people on my alt account. I don't know. I just have some weird elitist thing where it's like I don't really want to have, I don't want to be like fully carried by like a whole bunch of people on my alt account or anything like that. I want to have the same advantages and disadvantages that a normal player has, right? So I'm just trying to say, you know, long story short, that things are really messed up with Trove. So if you guys are having problems with it, and if you would kindly unadd Scythe Plays and re-add Scyushi, okay? That's just how you're going to end up seeing this account online, not having any issues, and ultimately going to be able to play with me more effectively, all right? So, yeah. On top of that, now let's talk about the big elephant in the room, why I moved on from being a family-friendly channel. So with the change of identity, by going to, you know, a new username, Scyushi, or Sushi, as I just keep referring to myself, and so many of you do, just because it's easier to spell, I think. But I don't know, like, it's like, out of doing so many years of doing YouTube, and I guess I'll just say that in real life, obviously, I am not like some tool. I don't do like, I don't like, I swear in real life, like excessively. I swear like a lot more than I even do in the videos and stuff like that, depending on the games that I'm playing. Like when I'm playing a more mature game like Last of Us, or more recently Ghost of Tsushima, I swear just the normal amount that I would, kind of. I mean, I still tone it down a little bit, but needless to say, I am just a normal human being, and I always have been. It's just that a long time ago, when I first started doing YouTube, I thought that being, you know, I thought that swearing channels were a little bit cringe because everybody was doing it, and it felt very unnatural for the channels that I had watched. Like, it just, I don't know. So in a way, I'm very proud and happy of the fact that I was family friendly for so long, because I could really establish a comfortable, positive energy with you guys. And now, despite the fact that I've started swearing in my videos, it hasn't changed that. I mean, sometimes I'll end up doing like my sarcastic humor, which new people coming to the channel don't know that I'm being sarcastic. It's something that I'm trying to work on continuously. But the fact of the matter is that the reason I decided to end up moving on from being family friendly is because, in all honesty, stress. It was getting way too freaking stressful to end up being like 100% family friendly, because not only the stress and worry of slipping up at one point, you know, there was one stream where I straight up accidentally dropped an F-bomb, and I wasn't even meaning to. It was just a weird thing where I was saying frickin' and freak at the same time, and somehow it ended up coming out as the F word, and it's just, it was weird, okay? It wasn't that I slipped up and swore. It just, my brain didn't calculate the next word properly and mutated two words together that turned into a swear. Anyways, that, needless to say, I didn't set that stream to public or anything like that, but I just was so distraught, you know, because it wasn't like I let out a damn or a hell or something. This was the full-on F word, right? And I still try to tone it down a little bit for my Trove videos and stuff like that, obviously, just because we've got years and years of established content where it was family friendly. But I mean, that said, when I'm streaming and stuff, sometimes I do just let her rip. But I'm trying to say that it was just so stressful for me to try and keep up this persona of being family friendly. And you know, there was one of my good friends, the Jub Club officer, so that's the Xbox club in Trove, Captain Redbeard. I actually ended up meeting him in real life, like, I don't know, it was sometime last year. And basically, like, he understood the whole persona that I had, projected or whatever, like, all over my videos and stuff. He thought I was family friendly. So then kind of when I ended up finally meeting him, I told him just outright, like, it's like, okay, dude, so just a heads up, like, I swear, like, I'm a normal dude. And he, had a lot of words that were very influential for me while I was going through this difficult transition period, because obviously it was very difficult for me to come to this decision to end up moving away from being family friendly, because at first I was doing it for moral reasons, and then eventually it just ended up becoming too much, and while I was going through this transitional period, he was saying how, like, one of the things that he noticed was how even he was a little bit stressed out at meeting me, just because he didn't know, whether he had to tone it down or anything like that. And then when I was just being normal and swearing in front of him and stuff, like, first of all, he thought it was hilarious just because he'd never heard me swear before, but then was saying how he was, a lot more comfortable with me just seeing that I was like a normal human being. Because I mean, I guarantee you guys, like, any family friendly channel out there on YouTube, obviously they swear. That's why you see, like, stupid Fortnite montages of family friendly channels that accidentally swear. Like, it's like, of course they do, this is normal things. Like, there's other YouTubers that I've talked with where they're family friendly, and they blatantly, the first time I meet them, they well, online, not like in person, and they blatantly say, like, it's like, yeah, I swear, dude, like, it's normal, right? But that was the thing, is I didn't. Even when I was talking with these people, I kept up that persona, and I guess I got way too wrapped up in the idea of what my channel was that I started to lose sense of my personality and who I was and why I was doing YouTube in the first place. Was because I thought that my personality is something that I think is a bright enough, positive enough thing that I wanted to share it with the world. And I'm very, very fortunate and very lucky to have so many of you guys and gals tuning into my videos. And I don't mean to sound pretentious or anything like that. Like, it's like, oh, my videos deserve to be shown or anything like that. It's more so that when I see other channels, I just wonder why they're so depressed all the damn time. You know what I mean? And talking about stress and talking about money and work and blah blah blah. Like, it's like, dude, I'm playing video games for a living. I don't have a right to complain. That's what I always thought. But the thing is that it does become stressful, and for the most part, I deal with that stuff internally. I deal with that stuff in real life. I don't end up expressing it in my videos because my videos are a source of positivity. That is something that I wholeheartedly still want to establish with the channel, is just, a good place that we can all just chill and have a good time, right? But the whole thing is that while I was doing all this family friendly stuff, I got a little too wrapped up in that without it being real anymore. That's what I feel. So long story short, I decided to start swearing on the channel, and my God, all of the stress in my life just started to melt away. At least all of the stuff relating to my work, relating towards doing YouTube videos and stuff. Because, when your work is what's stressful for you, then obviously it's going to end up impacting the rest of your life very negatively, especially when I drown myself in my work. Like, I'm a workaholic, and being self-employed can, like, be it can be a detriment. So even over the years, this is something completely unrelated, but over the years, I've, worked very hard on being able to take a step back, take a day off, take a break, not worry about uploading videos every single freaking day, so that I'm not as stressed out. And because of it, I feel that the videos are just, I feel personally very gratified in the content that I've been delivering to you guys, even if it's hit or miss, and sometimes, nobody's really into a video that I produce or anything like that. The fact of the matter is that some of you are, and that is the biggest thing that I wanted to move back to with my channel. was not worrying so much about the numbers. You know, like one of the big consensus that happens on the channel for a lot of people that are just spectating rather than getting involved with the channel and the inner workings of it is a lot of people come to the channel, whether they're trolling or whether they're just being observant, trying to say, you know, oh, the channel's dying and stuff like that. But to me, I feel like the channel is more alive than ever because the views don't matter as much. Obviously, it's very, very important that enough of you guys are watching the videos that you know, that I feel justified in the content that I'm producing, that I'm making enough money that I, you know, don't have to get a real job, that I can just keep playing games and stuff like that. But that's not the reason why I'm doing it. You know, there was another video I put out recently, assumptions about me, and so many people were assuming the fact that I was playing Trove just for a paycheck. But that's not the bottom line. Like, I just enjoy doing these videos, and it's about the community that we've established up to this point. And I don't mean to get all political in this video, but hey, this is where it spun to, so just work with me here, all right? But anyways, the point that I'm trying to get at is when I make a video of Ghost of Tsushima, you know, that's just the game that I'm using as an example right now. I don't expect it to be very popular. I don't expect to get Trove level of views or anything like that. But the fact is that the few of you that are watching that series, I very, very much appreciate, because the positivity that I get really gets me stoked on, this is why I started doing YouTube. You know, because I think to the days when I first started out and I'd get like, you know, 1 view, 10 view, 100 views, 1,000 views, so on and so forth. It was a long, arduous process to get to the point that I am today with my content. And the fact of the matter is that YouTube itself very, very deliberately pushes the numbers. And I think that's where a lot of YouTubers get it wrong and let it go to their heads as soon as their channels start getting big and stuff like that. Because think about it this way. Quite literally, your paycheck is, sorry, I bumped my mic. Your paycheck is, you know, designated by the amount of people that are watching your videos, or more specifically, the minutes watched, whatever, all of that stuff, right? And so with that, it can be very, very difficult for someone who doesn't have enough mental strength or, you know, whatever you want to call it, endurance, I don't know. It can be very difficult not to see the dollar signs, but more importantly than that, and this is why I think that so many YouTubers end up getting stressed out, myself included, this was affecting me. I'm speaking from my personal experience. I'm not just trying to judge these people or anything like that. This is a real thing. But because of that, like, because, you know, because in this world that we live in, wealth equals power or equals a sense of self-worth, you know, whatever, we judge ourselves too harshly based on the amount of money that we end up making. And with YouTube being all about numbers, our ape brains start thinking, and this is serious, that if the views aren't high enough, like say I'd be playing, you know, this would be an example of me months ago. I'd be playing Ghost of Tsushima. It would get maybe 100 views or something like that. I would feel depressed, like those videos weren't worth it. And then I would stop playing that game and try to move on to something else that I think you guys would be more interested in. And this is a serious mental health problem that happens with a lot of content creators. And I am very, very fortunate that I was able to get out of that and start to slowly reestablish the fundamentals of why I started getting into YouTube in the first place, which again, it's not about the views. It's about you guys. It's about having a good time together. It's about building up this online family, as it were, dysfunctional as we are. The fact of the matter is, I love you guys. You know, you're my other family, and I just am so appreciative and blessed at the fact that I am literally just playing games for a living, that it's like I still, again, don't really feel that I am justified in complaining about it. You know, like if there would ever be a chance where my channel would end up exploding in popularity, and I'm talking like being a big time YouTuber, millions of views type of thing, you know, like I can't stand when I see those guys not only flaunting their money, but also talking about how they're not making enough money. But I can understand where they're coming from, because again, it's all about, you know, it's all about where you are relative to how you justify your work, I guess. What I basically mean by that is, we as human beings, we get used to things. So when these guys get used to making $1 million per month, I'm exaggerating, of course, when they make $200,000 per month, they're sitting there going, oh my God, you know, because that's not what they're used to. There's a term for it. I just don't know what it is. But anyways, I don't mean to get too philosophical, so we won't get into any of that stuff. I'm just trying to say at the end of it all that I'm feeling really, really good with the decisions that I ended up making with the channel. And it seems like it's reflected a lot with the community, even though the community in a lot of ways is kind of, I feel like it's being broken down so that it can rebuild itself. I do still feel very positive about where things are going. And I just hope that the channel and the community and everything has the opportunity to continue to grow from this point on, you know. But yeah. Anyways, I didn't mean for this video to be as ranty or as long as it was. I knew it would end up getting pretty ranty though, because I'm talking about some serious topics that I'm passionate about. But I'm good. I hope you guys are good too. Anyways, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Now I gotta edit this video, but in the meantime, I also want to stream some Ghost of Tsushima Part 3. So I'm absolutely loving that game. This video will more than likely come out a little bit later today, just because of, you know, I gotta get things a little bit more organized today with going to that, you know, engagement party and junk like that. But either way, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, guys, really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want to support the channel. Otherwise, I mean, I don't know, you could get channel membership. Who cares? Just turn off ad blocker. That's all I ask. Then you're basically still watching the videos for free, but you're still supporting me. I don't know. Have a good day regardless. Sayonara and stay epic, gamers.